I want you to just shift how you are plating that. And I want you to start with the turkey. I want you to continue with the veggies. And then the Crave are going to take up smaller portions on your plate. Welcome to Cravings Control for Fat Loss. I'm your host, Laura Cavallo, former sugar binger, overeater, and yo-yo dieter turned fat loss and cravings coach for hundreds of busy women. Here at Cravings Control for Fat Loss, I'll be sharing mindset, movement, and metabolism strategies for those who are ready to ditch the fat diet cycle and slim down without counting calories, tracking points, or giving up any of the foods they love. Get ready to embrace progress over perfection, grace over guilt, and bring curiosity and learning to the inevitable ups and downs of your life. Expect a decrease in your cravings while seeing and feeling an improvement in how you look, how you feel, and your overall quality of life. I am so excited you're here, boo. Let's get started. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Cravings Control for Fat Loss. My name is Laura Cavallo, your cravings and fat loss coach. And today I have the third episode in a 5-part series sharing how to create a Satisfull Thanksgiving meal. And this series is called the Holiday Cravings Guide. And with that, I want to welcome you to another holiday season. The reason I wanted to create this holiday cravings guide is because a lot of women I speak with approach this time of year with the mindset that if they can't do things perfectly, then why even try it all? And you know what I'm going to say, boo-boo. This is the exact wrong approach. Now, while it may be harder to achieve, say, fat loss during this time of year, it's a great opportunity to focus on doing some of the basics well that can help keep cravings stable, help you maintain your weight, and help you do the best you can during a busy, fun, and oftentimes stressful time of year. So in an effort to support you during this holiday season and in prep for more parties, food, and alcohol, I am hosting this 5-part series called Holiday Cravings Guide. These episodes are designed to help you navigate this time of year with less overeating, less self-sabotage, and more confidence and control. This third episode is all about how to create a Satisfull Plate using the most traditional foods at Thanksgiving dinner. I will break down different combinations and the 2 most important things to keep on your plate. You're not going to want to miss it. So first, let's review what a Satisfull Plate is. As you recall, a Satisfull Plate has 4 parts. The first is lean. Lean stands for 1 to 2 palm-sized amounts of a protein-forward food. Lean does not mean lean protein. Lean means feed the lean muscle tissue. Feed the lean muscle mass that we are building with strength training and resistance training. Feed the lean metabolically demanding muscle tissue on your body. The second part to a Satisfull Plate is 1 to 2 palm-sized amounts of a detox food, which is going to be a fruit or vegetable. The reason we're including this is because fruits and veggies provide fiber, water, vitamins, and nutrients, and they fill us up for the least amount of calories. Part number 3 to creating a Satisfull Plate is crave. This is the foods that give you the yum-yums. This is the food that gives you the satisfaction factor that makes you feel like the meal you just ate was so delicious. This is going to be a smaller portion of the foods that you love. These crave foods fall into the category of either carbs, fats, alcohol, or even processed foods. Now, I know what you might be thinking is, but aren't fruits and veggies carbohydrates, Laura? And yes, they are. But fruits and veggies also, as I mentioned, contain vitamins, minerals, and fiber, which is why we're prioritizing them as a larger portion of our plate. So I don't want you going and freaking out about the fruit and sugar or the carbs in your veggies, okay? I want you to focus on getting 1 to 2 palm-sized amounts of those with each of your 3 main meals, as I have been talking to you about since episode number figgity 4, okay? Since way back when. Almost 100 episodes ago. Part number 4 of a Satisfull Plate is to observe and adjust. Observe means, how does this meal make me feel? Do I feel gassy? Do I feel bloated? Do I feel energized? How long is this meal keeping me full? Am I experiencing any cravings as a result of this meal? And then as a result of what you observe, you can make adjustments for the next meal or make any modifications or take something out or add something in. I'll go into more detail about that in a separate episode. So, few things to remember when you're dining out, vacationing, or you're outside of your environment or routine, or like we have coming up, Thanksgiving holiday. It's going to be super easy to come by crave foods. Okay. They are going to be around. They're going to be aplenty. You're not going to have to go searching for them. So when we're faced with these situations, we need to work really hard to lean into and find and discover and plate the lean and detox portions of our meals first. This is going to become your priority when building your holiday Satisfull Plate. So let's break some things down. When it comes to Thanksgiving or even Christmas dinner, let's lay out the different parts of the different types of foods that can apply to lean, detox, and crave. Let's start with lean. Lean is a protein-forward food that can be an animal protein or it could be a vegan source of protein. This includes meat, poultry, fish, shellfish. It can include tofu, tempeh, or even beans if you're someone that doesn't eat soy. So what are some of the most traditional things that we're going to find at Thanksgiving dinner that's lean? Remember, this is going to take up most of our plate, or rather a third of our plate, leading with 1 to 2 palm-sized amounts. So we've got turkey, we've got ham, some other things that you may not think about, deviled eggs, right? If you're doing appetizers and you're plating yourself a Crave and Go plate and you're leading with lean, maybe you've got some deviled eggs that were made, or maybe you made a spinach dip that was yogurt based instead of sour cream based. So I know some people will have other forms of protein at Thanksgiving, but the most traditional ones are going to be turkey or ham. My family has also made salmon at times if it was just a smaller group of us and we wanted to just have some fish or something lighter. My aunts made rabbit before, or steaks. So whatever that protein is that you have, that you enjoy, that you want to eat, baby, this could be dark meat turkey. Okay. This could be dark meat chicken. It could be some sort of ground beef situation. I don't care what it is. Make it protein forward. That's it. Don't overthink it. We got other things to focus on. So that's going to be lean. So I've got I'm going to plate some of that dark meat turkey. You know, I love my dark meat. Part number 2 is going to be detox. This is going to be a fruit or veggie. Some traditional fruits or veggies that I come across at Thanksgiving dinner, and maybe you also do, are Brussels sprouts and green beans and carrots, candied carrots, bacon, Brussels sprouts, slivered almonds, and green beans. Okay, we'll talk about sauces and things like that with Crave, but just make sure that you're getting 1 to 2 palm-sized amounts of these greens on your plate. Okay, now I should have started the podcast with this, but this is if you want to have a Satisfull, an 80-20 Satisfull plate with your Thanksgiving meal, right? If you want to have more Crave foods, you totally can. That's totally fine. It's just one meal. It's one day. Not a big deal. This is if you're doing a traditional Satisfull plate, and this is how it would be plated, okay? Part number 3. So I'm going to say I got dark meat turkey, and I've got some Brussels sprouts with bacon, okay? That is going to take up most of my plate. I know I'm getting my lean and my detox on my plate. And then the third part is going to be Crave. These are any of the foods that give us the yum-yums. And we know that at Thanksgiving, there's a lot of foods that give us the yum-yums. We've got sweet potatoes. We've got mashed potatoes. We have creamed anything, right? Creamed corn, creamed casseroles, stuffing. We've got bread. We've got appetizers, right? Maybe like pigs in a blanket or some other sort of baked or fried item. There's probably going to be booze flowing. You know, we're going to have dessert. We're going to have a little bit of pie. And don't forget the gravy. Do not forget the gravy on that mashed potato, right? So as you can see, there's a lot more Crave that's going to be on the table just by default. And so when you're plating yourself, you're going to have smaller portion of your Crave foods than you would normally have. So say in the past, you used to start with the mashed potatoes and then the stuffing and a whole bunch of gravy and 2 cocktails. I want you to just shift how you are plating that. And I want you to start with the turkey. I want you to continue with the veggies, and then the Crave are going to take up smaller portions on your plate. So when it comes to building this Satisfull Plate, the two parts you 100% want to keep in there if you're trying to build a traditional Satisfull Plate are the lean and the detox elements. Okay, we have to find that protein and those veggies, which we know are going to be less in abundance than, say, some of the Crave items. Now, again, as I mentioned before, how much Crave you eat and how little or the amount of lean and detox you eat is going to be totally up to you. If you're someone that is trying to make better choices, if you're trying to eat a little bit healthier, if you're trying to feel better on Thanksgiving Day, then leading with the Satisfull Plate is going to help you accomplish all those things. I do want to leave you with some tips for eating, which can help you have a better experience with your Thanksgiving dinner. So the first thing is to eat slowly. Okay, make sure that you're taking your time with your meals and you're not just overeating and stuffing yourself. To which my second point is eat until you're 80% full with both appetizers and your dinner. Now, if apps are happening right before dinner, then you're not going to want to be super full on appetizers, right? Because then you're not going to leave a lot of room for dinner and you're probably going to end up overeating. So you can practice Crave and Go with your appetizers, and that was on an earlier episode, to plate yourself on a smaller plate of some of the things that you enjoy. A great way to eat to 80% full is to, number one, eat slowly, which we covered, and not feeling like you have to finish everything on your plate. And the feeling of eating to 80% full is almost like you could have a few more bites, right? It's before that feeling of fullness. It's before that. So if we're looking at our hunger and fullness scale, and 10 is super full, feeling sick, we want to be somewhere between a 7 and an 8. That's going to be eating towards 80% fullness. And then the third tip I have for you is to ask yourself what you really want to try and eat versus feeling like you have to eat everything that's in front of you. Now, it's going to be really easy if all the food's laid out, buffet style, to just mindlessly snack and pick and try everything. That's why Crave and Go is such a great tool to help you portion control, to help you slow down, to help you pause, to help you really say, okay, is my plate satisful? Do I have the things that I really want to eat? And can I just leave some of the things that maybe I'm not that interested in aside? I also want to remind you that if you are feeling full and there's something that you haven't tried yet or you want more of, to make yourself a plate and save it for tomorrow, right? If you're like, well, I never have leftovers, well, make yourself a plate before everything's gone and then have it the next day. So those are some strategies for your Thanksgiving Day meal. And that is my guidance on how to build a Satisfull Plate around some of our favorite Thanksgiving foods. Now, let me know what questions you have. And I'd also love to know what you thought of today's episode and how you built your own Satisfull Plate and what strategies from today's episode you used. You can always find me on Instagram, shoot me a message, click down below and shoot me a message. I'd love to hear how your Thanksgiving went. And I will talk to you soon. Thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you later.